I've started with just the chart right on the screen. As usual,
There we
everyone,
go.
at 50,000. Check. You can hear me, all right? Yeah, okay, perfect.
Yes, sir.
$50,000 Maven account for one of the best questions. We're just going to kind of talk about the charts today, answer some questions. Nothing too crazy going on in the market. There's been so much hecticness
It's
the past few weeks.
it's Hunter. This you told me you haven't been looking at the charts too much. It's been a market where every single morning you just buy and you close your eyes and you hold until the end of the trading day, and you should be up.
Yeah, I actually, unfortunately, I had some QQQ longs or NQ, whatever you want to call it here, NASDAQ longs, from pretty far down here, and I did close it, just last week actually when we're starting to see this consolidation. I was saying to myself, I was like, well, that was a pretty dang good move already. Uh, Good chance that maybe they come back down, but they haven't. They just keep going. And I wonder if this is, do you think this is like simulated profit being pumped into the market? Or
Yeah.
do you,
I
do
mean,
you
I
think
did see an article that they did pump quite a bit into the market as well, the Fed. So could be. I mean, it's just been a market that's just been soaring higher every single day you look at it. Even Bitcoin's up above 80K, bro. I don't know if
Yeah,
you
I
saw
was
that.
looking at I admitted some of my defeat there the other day with Bitcoin after we got a pretty decent close back up within sort of these ranges, and nice buy up off of this yellow line. I kind of just drew arbitrarily, but it seemed to be relatively accurate. Got
Sure.
back into Bitcoin myself. You've been adding to Bitcoin yourself too?
I have, yeah, in just spot accounts, no CFD trading accounts, just spot accounts.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's the way that everyone at home should be trading Bitcoin too. Is you don't need to, like, if you're going to be trading Bitcoin, use a prop firm maybe, but most of the money with Bitcoin just comes from you sitting doing nothing.
Correct.
Right?
Just and maybe adding to it I like adding to it every week, not every month. It's a bit too out far. I like adding every week, bro, personally, to Bitcoins on that list. Yeah.
Because it's too volatile, or why you choose
No,
every week?
it's closer to dollar cost averaging the days apart from it.
Yeah. But this looks super solid. Bounce off that area, and even just this close from last week. What really gives me a awesome, bullish sentiment here is, they came back down, and then they couldn't support any of this area. So the bulls took over, and they came back and closed right back up within that range again. So this looks great to go up to 100K, in my opinion, at this point.
I agree.
Right? These new highs, right?
Yeah, I mean, you were actually also speaking about not trading too much recently, Hunter. I've actually also taken a little bit of the foot off the gas. I took some great payouts in Q1 with prop firms, as obviously also trading my personal. But I think what we can also speak about is also sometimes, like mental fatigue. You also need to step away from the desk at times, right?
Yeah, sure. I kind of go with the flow, depending on how the market's been treating us.
Correct.
And right now, it's like there's not a whole lot to do.
YM looks nice for longs today, I must say. I like that. It's at a better price for longs on the like a 15-minute chart, Hunter.
Yeah, let's zoom in here. Yeah, it's supposedly maybe not too bad. I'm hesitant to, if I'm going into a trading day, right, and I see something crazy like the NASDAQ where, it's just gone straight up every single day, pretty much. Exception maybe yesterday, but every single day it's gone up. And why would I trade the YM? You know what I mean?
Sure, but you have had a couple of trades on YM. I know you predominantly look at NQ.
No,
but
I'm saying if NQ is just going straight up, every single day it goes up, and I can pretty much say that with almost certainty right now. It's like it's going to go up, right? It's been going up for the past month or two, whatever it is here. Let's look at how long it's been. Basically straight up for 1, 2, 3, 4, about 5, 6 weeks, right? A month and a half. And why am I gonna why am I even going to be so silly to believe that, you know, the YM is even going to keep up, first of
Of
all?
course. Yeah.
And YM's also at this resistance, you know, who's to say it's just going to pop when this is clear sky, blue sky?
Yeah.
It's just going, right?
I agree. I mean, that's been, as I said, like it's been a market where you come to the desk in the morning, you just look for the best buy price and you buy, and you literally close your eyes, dude, and you should be in profit. It's been pretty crazy. I haven't seen a market like this in quite some time, Hunter. I don't know about you, bro.
Yeah,
Maybe
it's been
April last year, you know, when the Trump tariffs, maybe that.
Well, interesting enough is, you know, if you jump around the markets and you look at, you know, gold in January, February, it was just exactly like this. And the beautiful thing about trading is if you don't like trading bear markets, just don't, you know?
Yeah.
Gold straight up for 6 months, basically, right? And then before that, go back, Bitcoin straight up before that, right?
Yeah.
And then now we got the NASDAQ straight up, right? And we really, and then even before that, the NASDAQ was doing that same thing again, right? So when gold was ripping and going straight up, NASDAQ was going sideways. So you can just jump between the three. Say you don't want to trade bear markets, say you don't want to trade sideways markets, just literally look for the one that's going up. It's pretty easy. You'll get the tail end of it, of course, right?
Yeah.
You're not going to get the full move.
Yeah, of course. I agree with that. I do like to look at the different indexes to see which one's the strongest. Obviously, the NASDAQ has just been, the NASDAQ's just been ripping. ES actually has been lagging a little bit. At least they've been trading quite divergently between the two, Hunter, like on NQ and ES. What I mean by that is like not right now, but like intraday sometimes, like NASDAQ might make a new high, but NQ doesn't, but ES doesn't, or vice versa like that. So it has been quite interesting, but the NQ's just been a powerhouse leading the high side. What's obviously I'm happy about Bitcoin moving high in terms of like my long-term holds, Hunter, but what's your take on any other of the cryptos like Ethereum or Solana?
Yeah, sure. Let's talk crypto a little bit here.
Yeah, I've actually been. I don't know if you saw, but I posted on. I'll show it to you in person. By the way, for those watching, I'm going to be seeing Hunter actually this Sunday, so that's going to be pretty cool. I can't believe we're sitting here. I'm on opposite ends. We're on opposite ends of the world, but on Sunday we're going to be seeing each other. It's crazy.
Yeah, we happen to both be. I managed to plan my trip because I was going to go to Miami.
He came for me.
Yeah.
He's lying. He came for me.
I was going to go. But then I heard that you were going for that weekend, so I was like, I might as well show up for that weekend as well.
No, 100%. I appreciate it. I'm looking forward to it. But I got that crypto card that you can spend. You can spend your crypto on that Visa card, bro. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, the Bybit or Bygit.
I use Bitget personally for my crypto.
Yeah.
But you can. There's a lot. You can. I'm sure Binance has some cards as well and stuff like that. Bybit.
In Canada, we have some virtual ones. There's one called ShakePay that literally you can just transfer in and out of your bank account, and then you tap your phone.
That's pretty cool.
And
South Africa's definitely lagging on that front, but it's like the cards are only coming through now, and it should have been a long time ago.
Yeah, this was, I think even compared to the States, Canada was a couple years behind, and I was pretty annoyed with that. I think you're 5-6 years behind the States.
Sure, dude.
Because I remember the States was getting, I think there was an FTX card. Was there an FTX card? I think so. Like this was like, I think the States was getting their crypto cards.
That's pretty cool.
Just after COVID.
Oh, right? Wow. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Because I mean, this is like the guy from Bitget got in contact with me. He's like, yeah, we got cards for the VIP clients because obviously I've been using them, and I was like, sick, send it over, bro, make it happen. But yeah, what are your thoughts on like other cryptos in terms of like Ethereum and Solana? I'm just having a look.
Well, let's look at Ethereum for first of all. Okay, so my logic going into the crypto space is you first decide, do you want to be in crypto, right? And that's the first question, because if you're not willing to handle the risk of Bitcoin, then you're not willing to handle the risk of anything else. So Bitcoin is the most stable and reliable and trustworthy, right? So that's your first question is you're going to decide, hey, do I want to be invested in Bitcoin? Okay. And then from there, it's not a matter of, do I want to buy Ethereum or XRP or Solana, right? A lot of people, they look at, Solana versus USD, and they might say, hey, it's pretty flat, I'm not super interested, or Ethereum, USD, okay, that's going up too. But what's actually the problem here is you want to be looking at everything with respect to Bitcoin, because you could always just hold Bitcoin, because Bitcoin is the base case,
So you're saying like whatever Bitcoin does, generally like Solana and Ethereum should follow?
Somewhat. What I'm saying is you shouldn't apply risk where you don't need to apply risk. Okay.
Fair.
If you're looking at Ethereum to Bitcoin, well, this has been going down for ages, right? This is not a good chart to be invested in, more or less, right? There's been a couple little blips up, but overall, Ethereum does not outperform Bitcoin, right?
Yeah.
Like let's look back here. Since 2021, it does not outperform Bitcoin. And so you could just be holding a safer, less risk asset and be making more, right?
Sure.
And so let's look at Solana versus Bitcoin sort of thing. Same sort of deal, right? Since 2021, nothing has really outperformed Bitcoin, right? XRP had that one, crazy day, but literally altcoins just do not exist anymore, right? And so until we're seeing some good reason to be, I think there's one that's actually really outperforming is Tron, and I'm not really sure why.
I must say, like, obviously you've been in crypto a lot longer than me, but I've actually really started to see at least in the last 2 years, particularly with Maven. I'm sure you guys do payouts in crypto as well, right?
Oh yeah. Of course.
So for international payments, nothing beats crypto, bro. Nothing beats it.
Yeah, there's so many reasons I would use crypto for pretty much everything at this point. It's faster.
You make a payment to a bank account internationally, it takes 3 business days.
Yeah. Takes too long, too expensive. In Canada, I don't know about your guys' wire transfer costs, but it's $50 to wire transfer.
Yes, here. It's expensive, bro. I sent some money overseas, about quite a large sum of money overseas about maybe 2 months ago, and they banged me it was literally almost close to $100 in terms of fees.
Yeah. It doesn't really make any sense when the back ends are being run on things that cost nothing anyways.
Yeah.
Right.
I agree.
And even the other great thing about dealing with crypto is there's fewer hands touching it. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I prefer to, a lot of people don't like this because then you have to be, you have to regulate yourself. But I like crypto just because then I get to become the bank. You know what I mean?
You're the bank. And also you're not getting shafted by fees all the time,
Yeah. You manage your own self. You hold your own wallet. You have your own authority over it, right? And a lot of people don't want to take authority over their life, right? So they would prefer maybe using the banks and whatnot, or
of course. And there is obviously a need to have banks like for example, like your retirement funds and unit trusts and stuff like that, those type of investments. That's cool. But I think if you, as you said, I like what you said there. If you got to decide if you want to be in crypto, because it's going to be a lot more volatile than holding the Nasdaq or or like a Tesla stock. Even that might be a little bit also obviously more volatile because the individual name, but a lot more volatile than even holding Tesla. So you know that saying, Hunter, no crying in the casino.
I've never heard that. I've never heard
no crying. If you want to be around for the wins, you got to accept the losses as well. It's like when we go to the casino and we play blackjack, my friends lose and their whole demeanor changed. And I'm like, dude, if you had won, you'd be the happiest guy on earth. Just you lost. Just take it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's a similar logic to something like, hey, what should you invest in? NASDAQ or Apple? You know what I mean? Or Nvidia, right? Sure. And it's safest to just go with the NASDAQ. You know what I mean?
Agreed.
But if you want these crazy rips, Individual stocks are going to be able to provide them for you. Now,
Yeah.
I'm just noticing, like, is not Nvidia like 30% of the Nasdaq?
I think I don't think it's 30%, but I do think it's over 10%. I think it's in the let's ask ChatGPT.
Yeah, you asked
What
for me.
percentage is
I think
Nvidia?
Google's really up there too, eh? Google and Apple.
Yeah, Google,
Right.
Apple, Nvidia, Tesla as well. So Nvidia 7 to 9% of the Nasdaq. It tunes,
Okay.
yeah, which is
Yeah.
pretty high, bro. I mean, it is pretty high.
Yeah, I'm just trying to flick through and see what's
What?
carrying the Nasdaq right now. It looks
Yeah,
like Google is.
Google, yeah,
Google
Google,
and
Amazon
Amazon.
also. What? I had a question now. Yeah, Google.
I wanted
Google.
to get into Hood soon enough too. Robinhood.
Yeah, Robinhood. Yeah, we like 70, 80% of all-time highs, right?
Let's see here.
Robinhood.
Do you think this is going to come down
Good.
more?
You actually brought up Hood. That was the question. Did you see single stock futures are coming to the futures market, CME?
Yeah, I saw that actually. I don't think it really means anything. Does it mean something to you?
I not really. I just think that a lot of options traders might opt to trade the futures contracts instead of the options contracts in terms of the stocks potentially.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I just buy the stocks,
Sure.
right?
Yeah.
So it's
but obviously for leverage positions and stuff, maybe options is a little bit more complicated. They might just decide to buy the futures contracts of them,
Yeah. Yeah, I guess it just gives people a little bit more choice. I don't think it really matters too much because all I do is I'll just buy spot and then just sit on it. So let's get some questions here.
Yeah, let's have a look at that.
What's a trading mistake that actually improved your performance long term and why? Interesting question, actually.
I haven't. Geez, I've never heard it asked that way before.
Yeah. What's a mistake that ended up working out well for you, right?
I think just going all in and believing that you can actually make money doing this.
Yeah.
It's a good question.
I have a short story, maybe.
Sure.
Maybe I won't go super deep into it, but way back, I was in the early crypto days, down in maybe not super early, but BitMEX days when BitMEX was really popular and the 100-to-1 leverage, right? And some guy came into our Discord. We had a private side of Discord and, friends learning how to trade and whatnot. He came in and he said, "Hey, I'm a really good trader. I'm gonna show you guys on live stream. I'm gonna show you what I'm doing," right? And there used to be a thing called what was it called? Where you funding rates on BitMEX, where every 8 hours or something, people would scalp the funding rates. So you would get, it would be like a swap fee kind of. You get paid for whoever's on whatever side of the longs or the shorts or too much of these. And he would do things like with that, and he would be buying and selling really quickly because there was another feature where the makers would get paid and the takers would pay more fees, right? So the people who made the market, this would allow the market to be more liquid, right? The books would be deeper. They would actually get paid when their order got filled. So BitMEX was kind of this weird thing where, they would pay funding rates and they would pay these maker rates, right? And he would leverage based off of those, right? So he would just fill orders, and that was how he was making money. He wasn't actually really trading. And so I followed this guy's advice, basically. Long story short, started listening to this guy. We had a bunch of us all following him, and he would buy and sell, buy and sell, buy and sell. And we'd look at what he's doing, where he'd be putting his orders. We thought he was able to read the books some sort of special way, right? And, after a while, like I turned, I think I had like a few $100. I turned it into like a few thousand, right?
Oh, wow.
And a couple weeks or something like this. I'm like, wow, this guy really knows what he's doing, right? And then all of a sudden, one day, Bitcoin did what Bitcoin does best, and it crashed, right? And it just crashed instantly, right? And so this lesson where I instantly lost, $3,000, whatever it was. And I was pretty young, right? And this was kind of like
It's a lot of money.
decent amount of money for me.
Yeah.
I think it was like 2019 or 2018 or something like that. Lost pretty much everything instantly. And that mistake of trusting somebody just because they came into the Discord and they claimed that they knew how to do something without me actually ever testing it and making sure it made sense, probably saved me, tens of thousands of dollars in the future, right? Because, I only lost that little bit from that mistake. You know what I mean? Anyways.
That's that's pretty interesting.
Funny story.
A lot of people actually. So he was actually basically arbitraging it, like trading the different prices essentially.
Yeah. So just to make it more clear, the people who put limit orders got paid when their order got filled, right? So people would compete to see who could get their books, who could get in the front of the book, front of the orders, right? They'd try to get in the front of the orders, they'd fill their order, and then they'd close their trade, right? So that they would just scalp back and forth, right?
Correct.
In order to act as like a market maker, right?
Yes.
And in theory, it was really, really cool.
But long term, it can be quite tricky.
But yeah, with something like Bitcoin, where there's no liquidity, especially in the early days, well, once you get on the wrong side of one giant spike, well, nobody wants to be a maker anymore, right? Nobody's willing to take the risk on a falling knife like that. So the market just explodes in one direction. Then, I wonder now how well I would do in a market like that. Now that I know what I'm doing.
I have a few other friends as well, Hunter, that actually also do the same. Old school traders that have been doing it for like 30 years. What they do is for example, let's just say broker A has a NASDAQ price of 24,000 and broker B has and on the same broker, the futures price, because sometimes on CFD brokers, you can trade futures and CFDs. The futures pricing will be like 24,200. So it will be like lagging, for example.
Yeah.
And there's a mistake on the broker. They'll full port the CFD, and then when a jump does eventually catch up, they'll make a ton of bucks. And sometimes the broker will obviously argue with that and say you've manipulated, but at the end of the day, the broker's offering. But sometimes the broker actually will, come after you because they obviously don't want that.
Yeah. That's do you remember, let's just look at the NASDAQ, see if anything interesting is happening.
Yeah,
here.
nothing really much at the moment, bro. We just going higher.
Nice gain here. It would be easy you could just place if you're looking for a long here right now, guys, you could just let something light go today. It looks like it might just be a day up,
Yeah.
And then just have a stop behind one of these previous levels, I suppose. Just let it go if it does, All right. Do you remember how you remember Sam, the FTX guy, how he actually made all of his money, which through arbitrage like that?
Oh, interesting.
I don't know if you remember, but early crypto days, Japanese markets actually traded a few $1,000s higher.
Interesting.
Because the Japanese were actually more interested in Bitcoin. So he would wire money to Japanese exchanges, sell the Bitcoin, and then buy it back in the US exchanges. And what he was doing was sending large, like millions of dollars a day back
and then making a percentage on those gains, essentially.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And he was able to successfully arbitrage, but the biggest struggle was the amount of withdrawal of funds from the exchanges.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's actually very interesting. There's so many ways actually that people do that type of stuff. It's one of my mates made money doing that,
Yeah.
Any other questions in the chat, Angela?
I got one from Omar. Omar Cryptos here. If
Okay.
a trader had your exact system but your worst habits, and another had no system but perfect discipline, who lasts longer?
Obviously the guy with the discipline. I mean, you can have a great system, but if you stuff it up, yeah.
Well, yeah, I guess it depends on what your worst habits are. Also,
Yeah,
your worst habits. He doesn't even show up to the computer. He doesn't lose any money at all. He's still sleeping in bed. You know.
Yeah, well, then he can't lose.
You can't lose if you don't even try. I mean, a lot of people's worst habits is that they're too lazy to try. You know.
Sure.
But
yeah, there's a saying that goes those that aren't doing it should interrupt those that are.
Sorry, say it again.
Those that aren't doing it shouldn't interrupt those that are.
Yeah. Interesting. That's funny. Yeah. You got a lot of just quotes in your pocket.
I love it. I read a lot of books, bro, like blogs and stuff like that. So, you know, watch a lot of YouTube documentaries where they got motivational shit.
Yeah. What would you say the best metrics for measuring a trader's progress for a beginner? You do education, so
yeah,
you might be good with this question here.
I think that's actually a very good question. I think it depends obviously how long the trader has been trading. Personally, you know, if a trader's been trading only for 6 months, it's kind of hard to see progress. But I would say in terms of measuring the success, I would say not making the same mistakes over and over again, you know, like over trading or over position sizing. If you can stop those silly mistakes, that's progress. And then you give yourself actually a chance to make money long term. So that's what I kind of view progress for. And a lot of the guys that I actually work with come in as new traders with no real experience. And then they don't make money in the time that we're working together. But like we got actually a pretty cool message the other day. Guy that used to like blow accounts because he used to overtrade, Hunter, he made like 50 grand in a month with prop firms because like, then this is like 2 years down the line because of our coaching, and still tips these hat off to us because of the coaching and everything. So yeah.
Sweet. So the KPI, so if anyone doesn't know what KPI, it means something to do with progress. So it's key performance. I didn't even know exactly what
we had that actually when I played pro rugby. They used to look at your KPIs.
Yeah. So KPIs, for anyone confused, is you know, a performance metric. So it's something to track. You get to choose what you track. So maybe what would the KPI then be? Hey, you know, I'm over trading, or hey, I'm over risking or something. Would you just track and journal how many days in a month you traded? Or
correct, yes. And let's just say that was 8 the previous month. If you can beat 8 the next month, that's you're improving.
Yeah, then that's actually a really good way to do it, right? Because then instead of journaling, hey, are my trades good? You know,
am I making money? Yeah.
What was the setup? How much money I was making? Yeah. You could just journal and be like, hey, these are my issues. But make a list of all your problems. And then just check the number of times each week, right?
Yeah, 100%. That I had a year actually, Hunter, where I did about 60% in the year on my personal account, but I had like 20, I believe it was 23 trading days where I lost 4% or more. And I was like, listen, next year I'm not going to do that. And I think the next year I had like 4 of those days. So that's an area that I wanted to improve on. I think a lot of traders should actually rather see their trading from that rather than am I making money, you know?
Yeah. So reducing, that's another really good metric to track too, is, you know, how many days did I lose more than 3%?
Correct. Or 2%, whatever your like max risk tolerance is essentially.
Yeah. And this is interesting because, you know, people really need to put into perspective like how long it takes to even collect data from trading, right? Because, you know, I think what do we say? Like 6 months is not even a long enough time to get like good KPI data, right? Because if you're tracking, hey, I over traded 4 times this month, right? and then the next month is 3 times, and the next month after that is 2 times. Well, it's not really in 3 months is not enough time to confirm
No,
that
it's
that's
too
going
short.
down,
It's too short.
right?
Yeah. I think a lot of traders would benefit also if they actually gave time to like a strategy for like, at least like minimum of 6 months,
Yeah. 6 months to a year, I think, is about the
Yeah,
limit of how long you should be doing something in this
agreed.
market, right? And just
Agreed.
testing, right?
Testing. Also, again, like there was we've spoken a lot about our sayings, but it's never the strategy, it's always the trader. Hunter, you can show someone exactly how to trade. Doesn't mean they're going to make money. It's like any business, any business. Like how many people that start prop firms end up being still there 5 years down the line, or how long have they even been? 4 years down the line.
Yeah.
Let's have a look. There's a good question here. I think this is also good for the different Maven challenges. How should you approach? Who was it that I saw it there? How should you approach static drawdown to trailing drawdown? Well, I definitely think trailing drawdown, because you on the instant accounts, you got the trailing drawdown, and on the 2-step, you got the static. For me personally, I think the trailing drawdown, you obviously got to be a little less aggressive on your sizing.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to get eaten up on that trailing drawdown if it and then once you build yourself up a buffer, that's where you can maybe start extending the position size.
Depending if it's the trailing cuts off at some point. Some trailing drawdowns just trail forever off of the high watermark.
Correct. Some they lock in at the starting balance. Some accounts.
Yeah. Depending on, and somebody was asking a question earlier, if you had 10,000, would you do Forex or futures? It's the same, guys. It's basically the same, unless you're asking futures or Forex prop firms. Then they have different rules. The Forex, CFD Forex prop firms are easier once you're funded. They're super, super amazing to stay funded.
Yes,
but
futures, but they are harder to pass.
Yeah, futures are easier to pass, but you're probably only getting one payout when you get a payout.
Yeah, whereas like the CFD prop firms, especially if you take like a 2-step static, is a lot. Once you fund it, you can take like slow and steady, consistent payouts from them. I think personally.
Yeah, and I can even attest to that. If you're looking at the 1-step on Maven versus the 2-step, the 1-step's got about double the pass rate, just about. And maybe not quite, but then once you're funded, again, it's half the payout, right? You know what I mean? So wherever you prefer to stay, most people prefer the 2-step just because it's got better longevity.
Yeah, I love the 2-step. People ask me, Hunter, what's my favorite prop firm account? I love the 2-step personally. It just is for me. You got the static drawdown. You can risk your 1 to 2% on your accounts. You don't have to worry about it trailing. And then once you fund it, you just get like 2%, 3%, take your payout and move, and maybe trade another account, but move on to a different account, and then you wait for your payout date.
Yeah. So regarding I wanted to touch on you said reduce the position sizing. So if you're doing trailing drawdown, you should reduce the position sizing until you have kind of a buffer built up.
Correct.
Yeah. And what I would also add to that is if you have a trailing drawdown, you should really be shooting for high win rate. You want lower R trades, you maybe even negative R, right? Because you want to be winning like 80-90% of the time, ideally, because that way you never go into drawdown, right?
Yeah.
You don't want to be going
that's how I trade, Hunter. I trade for like negative RR, higher win rate. I prefer that method.
I think that's starting to become sort of the standard on prop firms.
Sure.
Right. A lot of people trade that way now. People are realizing that, hey, it's actually better to win more than win big. Right.
Agreed. Especially for day trading. Maybe if you swing trading, that would be a little bit more different. But if you're day trading, I definitely think winning more often rather than winning big is better.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I got a nice question here. What's the biggest trade you've ever blown up?
Oof. Dude, mine was like in one day, Yeah, mine
Oh,
was
what,
mine was
what,
mine was over 50 grand in one day that I blew up. Yeah.
50 grand. Yeah.
Lot
Wow.
real capital.
In a
Yeah.
day. You've
Yeah.
got me beat.
Yeah.
I
It's not
I watched in a singular trade, it was RSR, crypto
okay.
coin. I watched 100 grand
Oh,
turn into 10 grand.
oh.
It was up 100 grand in profit, but that was over the course of
Oh,
like
so it was in
a year.
profit and then turned on you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
So
you
it
lost
wasn't
50 grand in a trade.
yeah, I took the loss. Yeah,
Oh,
it was a little bit over
that's even
50.
worse.
It wasn't fun. Do you know how you know someone's a real trader though, Hunter? It is when someone asks that question. Everyone remembers that, bro. If you ask a trader, what's your biggest loss? I will remember that day till the day I die. I know because it was so real. But that's how you can actually tell if someone's a real trader or not. Is how they answer that. They know it off the top of their head. They don't like, I'm not too sure.
Yeah. I've got 3 or 4 in my head that will never leave.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
Never a big like I've honestly never risked more than like on a personal account, like, a couple $1,000,
Sure.
on any individual trade or
We
investment.
just don't need to really now with prop firms personally. If you blow up a prop firm account, you lose the amount that you paid. Whereas a personal account, if you have 5 grand in there, you can lose 5 grand.
Yeah. Yeah. Just trade somebody else's money makes way more sense.
Dude, 100%.
Trade the company's money, right?
Yeah.
Why would I ever want money on my own? Then you got to pay taxes on it. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Why would you want to get paid? Yeah, let's see what one more question and maybe wrap up here. The NASDAQ trade kind of just, it's kind of just going flat right now.
Yeah, it's trading 131 at the moment.
I wonder, should we look at gold really quick? I'm just going to pull up the chart again, just so people can get some perspective here. And one of the things I want people to be looking at here is actually copper. Copper has been crazy bullish lately. I think potentially it goes for a rip very similar to platinum, silver, and gold, right?
Sure.
It's been kind of arcing up doing this thing, and it's getting these really nice buys off of these are higher time frames, of course. So I'm hoping that this shoots up to the next leg up, and people can make some profit off of that. Gold otherwise is looking, kind of 50-50 still. I'm not super bullish, super bearish on this. And, hopefully today, if we can get a nice solid bullish close, then maybe, okay, this could be a reversal. The weekly candles still look okay, right? We had a nice bounce off that. And US oil, and, I am no longer in my oil positions. I'm hopeful that, this war stuff's going to get settled soon, because this could be very, very detrimental to the economy if it goes much higher.
Yeah.
Gas price. How much gas is over there?
Dude, it's going up by quite a bit in the next couple of days, I believe. In fact, actually tomorrow. Yeah. Are you guys working gallons and stuff like that? I'd have to convert, but
we do liter. We do liter in Canada.
Oh, you do liter? Yeah. Ours is brilliant. Ours is I think it's going up by like now I'd have to convert to American dollars. I think it's going up by like 0.5 a liter at the moment in dollars, which is pretty crazy. I mean,
it's going up by 0.5.
Yes.
Oh wow.
Petrol prices in South Africa at the moment. Here's the official petrol price for May. Yes, so it's around. Yeah, it's around. What's it?
You're trying to convert right now, aren't you?
It's about $1.2 a liter.
Oh, that's not too bad.
Oh, is it not? Well, how much is yours in US dollars per liter?
So in Canadian dollars, it's $2.25.
Okay.
So
wow.
That
okay, yeah, but in Canadian dollars, so maybe like 150.
Yeah, 160, 170, something like that.
Okay.
So it's not too far off.
That's not bad. Yeah, ours is about 1.25, 1.3, around about that number.
Yeah. But I've officially started paying $200 per tank in Canadian dollars.
That's wild, dude. Yeah,
crazy.
That's crazy. That is crazy. When I fill up my car, and my car Charles petrol, because I drive it like a race car driver, bro.
Yeah.
You
have a nice car too.
Yeah, no, thank you. Yeah, it's probably around, to fill up, it's probably around maybe $70 US. It's not bad.
Yeah. Right on. Yeah, I've switched over to the motorcycle to so I closed my US oil position. The US oil position was a hedge against the gas prices, so that when the gas prices went up, I could still afford gas, right?
Oh, dude,
and so now that I got a motorcycle, I don't need the trade anymore. So sometimes, guys, trading doesn't need to be all about making money. It just has to be about you not spending as much money at the gas station.
Sure.
I traded the Jeep in for a motorcycle, and now I'm good to go. That's trading.
Classic.
That's trading.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, but
somebody said, "What's your kill switch for today's session?" Do you have a kill switch?
What do you mean by that? Like what?
I guess a walk away situation.
Oh, yeah, bro. Like if I've made money before 12 Eastern time, I'm done. I'm up. Yeah, not a massive amount today. $415 on my live account. Yeah. So I'll probably walk away with that today. I mean, also sometimes, Hunter, I'll be up like $500-600 on it, whether it's a personal on live money, whether it's a personal or live, live funded account. And then I'll be like, let me just get to 1,000. And then you're down 500. And it's like, man, you sat there for like literally an hour. You made $500. You could have just walked away,
Yeah.
And then again, like I mentioned this in the beginning, there's a lot more things to do in life than just sit there and click buttons. Yeah, you could probably make more, but I'm happy with like, if I hit like $500 to $1,000 in a day, that's like kind of like my number at the moment, Hunter. I don't know. Everyone's got a number, right?
Yeah. I've always found that trading is the best when you just go with the flow,
Yeah.
And it's I think Chinese practice of Wu Wei. If you like reading, you can look into Wu Wei.
Okay, Wu Wei. Okay.
How do they explain it? The art of trying without effort or something like this, right?
Okay.
So wait, let me Wu.
I only know the what's that the Chinese that war book. What's it?
The Art of War.
The Art of War, yeah.
This is not what you're referring to. Yeah, Wu Wei. So it's
isn't that the phone Wu Wei? Isn't that the phone Wu Wei?
No, not Huawei. No, not Huawei. It's a Taoist concept, which is a Eastern religion. The translating to non-doing or effortless action.
Sure.
Right? So this principle is probably the best thing that you could ever practice with trading, because
I agree.
You put energy into it without putting effort, without struggling, without forcing things, right?
Sure.
When the trade comes, you go with it, right? And when it's not there, you don't fight it, right?
Yeah, fair.
You just don't fight the market. You can't control the power of the market, right? So
yeah, that's actually a very good. I agree. I trade best when I'm not trying. Like I'm not like I need to make this amount of money per day or whatever it is. I'm just trading for the sake of it. But I'm looking forward to some time off now. We definitely have to do a Maven live. I think from this Osmo Pocket, you can actually go live to your Instagram account, bro. On this.
No way. I have the same one.
Yeah, you can go live to your Instagram accounts. You just get the app and you connect it, and you can go live to your Instagram accounts. Pretty cool.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. Okay. Or YouTube I think it's Instagram and YouTube.
Yeah, I go.
I'm definitely we're gonna do a live. We're gonna do a live when we together, Hunter.
Okay, yeah, because I have the same camera. Are you? I guess we can discuss this after. But are you going to be there Tuesday still? We can do the podcast in Miami together.
Tuesday.
Yeah.
We can do it in the early morning. I'll leave early morning on Tuesday. Perfect. But we can do it early morning. Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, guys. Thanks for watching. We're going to be back next week, and we're going to be in Miami together.
We can do it live.
We'll do a little live podcast there, and also on our personal pages.
We might have to just make Tuesday. What time would it be Tuesday? Sorry again, because I've never been on Eastern time before. It's actually quite funny because I'm like,
you might be in the air. We'll see.
No. I'm driving that day. Actually, I'm taking a like a Uber, across Florida. So it's going, or like a car hire.
It'd be like 10 a.m.
Yeah, we can.
11.
Yeah, we can do that. We can do that.
Yeah. Okay, guys. Thanks for watching. The winner of the giveaway is going to be posted in Discord. We'll do this every single Tuesday. Some weeks we have guests. This week we did not. Thanks for watching.
Yeah. Cheers, guys.
Thanks, James.
Cheers, Hunter.